Drops of sweat start running down my forehead. I'm staring into the screen when there is ubiquity of records in Microsoft Excel. Madam Toastmaster, my friends, I'd like to share with you a story from last February when I still was a management consultant working at a client, I will not mention the name, and trying to crawl through a couple of Excel spreadsheets. As I said, I had to release the grip of my mouse because first it would get really painful, and second, if I pressed the mouse even a bit more, it would crack and burst into pieces. This is how nervous I was. 30 minutes before that moment, everything looked very simple. My manager came to me and said, "So Lucas, here are the two spreadsheets, two data sets. They contain basically the same data, just reconcile them and create a report in PowerPoint that we need to deliver to our client. And it's fine, you don't need to hurry. If you do it by today, 10 p.m., it's okay." So the great news was that I had all afternoon and I had the whole evening even to finish that report. The bad news was that the data was a mess. I knew who created that, and I just really couldn't figure out how that could have been done. There were sets of records. Some of the records were not matching at all. Some of these records were matching, but they had contradictory information. And I just, moment by moment, I sank deep, deep into despair because I didn't know, what am I going to do with this? After a couple of minutes, I smashed my mouse on the table and I walked outside from the room, outside from the building. Winter in February in Prague has the advantage that it really cools you down a little bit. So I started breathing a bit more slowly. I relaxed the tension in my right hand and started thinking more clearly as well. Oh, how I hated doing that, but no matter how much I hated it, I had to deliver the report at 10 p.m. So I slowly come back to my desk, forget about doing Excel magic with VLOOKUP, index, match, and start doing the old simple way, row by row, trying to understand what the data means and how I can match it together. 9:55, I'm sending the report out with the thought, this was the stupidest task I've ever had to do. One day of my life lost. I hope I'll never have to do it again. 2 months later, I'm doing the same report for the 9th time because my manager found the report useful. But then the mood is a little bit different. It's 10 a.m. In my earphones, there's Avicii. I could be the one. I'm smiling and I'm clicking with my mouse to that cell. I know what I need to do. First, create the new file. Second, create a new sheet from the old one. Third, delete the data in the blue part. Fourth, change the formula in column D. 17 more steps and the report will be ready. It's not work, it's something like meditation. So the same task, two different kinds of feeling. What's the reason? Particularly, I heard that many times before, but on that particular thing, I just realized that so often when something makes us really nervous or angry during our workday, the reason probably is either we don't have the competence, we don't know how to do it, we're not sure about what the result should be, and in general we're afraid we'll screw up. So maybe there's something to you. If you can just now think about your time in your outlook about the day, and what are the moments, what are the situations that you really feel uncomfortable about, that you really wouldn't like to have in your workday, that make you a bit angry, nervous, or upset. And if you take the next step and think about, okay, so what would I need to change in doing those things to start feeling more comfortable about them and maybe to start enjoying them? Because I'm convinced that if we really think about it, so most of the situations that are really uncomfortable, if we get masterful at them, we actually start enjoying them. A couple of weeks later, my wife comes to me, "Can you please fill up my tire for the bike? Because you know it's it's really flat. So I work with the tire, I start pumping it, but it doesn't work. So I try to adjust the way I'm pumping it, and it still doesn't work. So I change, I take a different pump, and still doesn't work. I'm saying to myself, I hate doing this, This is so stupid, why should I be pumping tire of someone else? Wait a minute, been there before, right? And a Toastmaster.
I'll definitely take your advice and listen to Avicii when going through